Yeah. Hurry up. You're recording?
Yeah, now I am.
Look at that mountain. Isn't that pretty? Look at that mountain. We're about to drive through that mountain. All in its 15 frames of glory. Blah, 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 blah. That's what happens when you don't use the USB 3.0 cable, guys.
It just doesn't quite work as nicely.
No, not at all. Are you kidding me? Oh, 45 zone.
Oh, we're going around turn.
Don't get sick, Nick.
Oh, no.
This is where you said last time that you get sick.
That's only if I'm looking up and down too much.
Don't look up and down too much, Nick.
I'll do my best.
Goodness.
Well,
you ready to start a show?
should we go ahead and climb into another one?
As long as the audio is good.
Will do. Here we go.
That was fun. What a great intro.
I like that intro. It's
honestly,
it's a very nice intro. We worked hard on it.
Boy, we. How about you just told me here's a logo? Actually, wait a second. I won't take credit for that. But yeah, I think we worked on that. Never mind, I digress. We worked on that nice and hard. A lot of work put into that. Man, hours on end for the Soundguys.
Lots of hours.
Hey, we are the Soundguyspodcast.com.
That is us. The one and only.
We're on the road.
The Soundguys. Yeah, guys.
Show them the road.
We're here. There's trees and mountains and rocks and cars coming at us.
Yeah. It's the road. We're
driving along the mountainside in Northern California.
The thing is, we felt bad because we try to do this regular stuff. We every week, whatever. And we know that you invest time in us, and so we want to do more for you. And we realized that, well, if we're not going to be able to have a studio setting and actually have our podcast, why not just take it on the road for a bit?
And just enjoy some of the beautiful scenery. Look at this, guys.
Look at that. Look at this.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, man.
Now, for you people who are just listening to the podcast and just listening to Spotify, the majority of our audience, we apologize. Go to YouTube. You can see some of this beautiful thing as we get past on the left.
Which is what we should get past on the left.
I hope we do.
Yeah,
we should be passing on the right.
Means you go too slow.
It's very dangerous.
But yeah, no, I think that's really where it comes to. Is we want people to feel, understand that we appreciate them because they have a lot of podcasts they can listen to, right?
Yeah, there's millions. And especially since COVID started, the podcast market, I think it was 2017, the statistic was about 17% of the American population listen to podcasts.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's 2017. Since then, especially because of COVID, the number has skyrocketed.
Exactly. And so because of that, you guys could have a choice. And you do, and you chose us. And thank you for spending your time. I'm not getting emotional, so I think maybe allergies, I don't know.
He's just crying.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad you guys...
It's such a powerful thing to know that you guys care. You guys love the show. That you guys just want to be part of this.
Just want to take a moment and just, I don't know what's up with my eyes.
It's not that nice.
I'm going to call it the allergies. It's a nice drive, though. It's the brown and the green and everything kind of just goes together. This is good.
It's very beautiful. Very beautiful.
But
there's a little sun glare in the window.
Oh, that's even better. But yeah, no, I just, wanted to mention that because, I truly do mean it. And, you guys could go anywhere else, but you chose to spend this time with us. So thank you for that. And, I don't know really what else to say, except we are the Soundguyspodcast.com.
I am the neighborhood Nick once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is good to be back.
And I am Crispin Smith once more.
Dang.
Oh, I just spilled water in my... Oh well.
Kristen Smith had an accident.
Shut up, man. I got water all over my... But I'm wearing black pants, so anyway, yeah. We're on our way to a job. That's okay. Jobs are always important, right? Because it's always important to have jobs in this day and age. We are...
Apparently getting
89.5. Yeah. We are, well, it's because the Bluetooth disconnected.
Oh, that's true.
We do work
Hasn't
professionally.
changed since the premiere.
That's awesome. We are professionals. Sometimes. And we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. Politics, the event industry, entertainment as a whole. We try not to talk about COVID because heaven knows...
We've talked a lot about COVID.
Oh, my goodness.
There's been a lot of stuff to talk about with COVID, but...
Have we not talked about COVID enough?
COVID.
Jiminy Christmas. Well, I think I feel better now that I washed my face off, but the downside is I got now water in the crotch of my pants, but it is what it is.
It's okay. You'll be fine. You'll dry by the time we get there.
I hope so. How's my audio? Am I not bumping this at all?
I had to bring you down a little bit because you were in the red. You were a little spicy.
I live life always in the red. That's the way to do it.
You're a little spicy. Whoa!
A little spicy. You gotta, live life in the red, and on your way out, save a quarter to the drop in the gumball machine.
Exactly.
That's it. No one, you can't take it with you. So
just leave it where you go.
Love that. Now, anyways, talking about events and things like that, we talked a couple episodes back about the event industry, looking kind of maybe not so hot for 2021.
Oh yeah, that was at the very beginning when we had a little Christmas time.
The sentiment of the physician who told me this, that hasn't changed in her eyes.
So in her opinion, events are still looking very, very bad.
Yeah. But
it's understandable. I could see, especially here in California, I could see that.
But the rest of the country is really getting back to work.
A lot of the country's gotten back to work now, except for a few key places. But also in the realm of politics, according to Governor Newsom, California will be fully reopened, I think by June 16th.
Yeah, so what guarantees that? California's back to business in June, so then what?
I mean, that's where everything is everything back to where we can just be normal again? Or is it going to be kind of like how, what is it? I recently read Disneyland is reopening, Six Flags is reopening, the amusement parks are all reopening, but certain entertainment aspects of those amusement parks are going to be closed.
Right.
Limited participation, meaning limited amount of people going in. Masks, 6-foot social distancing, blah, 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 blah. Is that going to transpose itself over onto everything?
Would it be transpose or would it be juxtapose? Or would it be just copy paste?
Maybe copy and paste at this point.
Yeah, because transpose I think would mean that you're going you're changing it to another level.
Well, then that would be correct, because I mean, if you're transposing from amusement park standards to grocery store standards.
Yeah, that's fair. Just give me some grammar queens out there that could actually, school us on that, help us out. I find that the women are better than the men at grammar, but whatever. I mean, yeah, I think the Nick may be correct, but I feel like juxtapose might be the right one, but
could be.
Whatever.
Could be, it will be.
So I didn't know this though. So we've got Disneyland, all these places opening.
Yep.
And
they're reopening, they're allowing people back onto rides and events, but certain aspects, I think, Disneyland, they released a list of certain areas of the park that will not be open. So I can't remember anything off the top of my head because it was actually was like 20 different locations in the park itself.
Oh, wow.
Where certain things were not going to be allowed. And I think it's mainly just because everything in those sections were so close together that you could not do any proper social distancing. And then other aspects, I think they're just, closing because there's not enough people to fill that space properly for financial purposes, maybe. So it'll be interesting to see how that all goes down. I believe at this point they're all open or reopened. They were doing it in like Disneyland. I think they reopened April 1st, I believe. I think that's what they did. And then Six Flags, different parks and different areas were opening at different times. But I think for the most part, by the time we've done this recording, all of the amusement parks should be open.
Interesting. Yeah,
But that does not necessarily mean that we are going to be having concerts and conferences again.
I've talked about that, and that's really what I'm on the fence about. I really talked to a couple competitors, because let me start off this way. That's a 35-mile-an-hour curve there. Let's just go ahead and slow this puppy down.
Whee!
I've talked about it this way before about competitors and the way I see the business as a whole in AV. I don't understand why AV guys develop this kind of hate for each other. I feel like it's more of a fraternity mentality, where it should be, we're happy for each other's successes, we're sorry for each other's failures, but at the same time, it's like we wish it was us and not us. Meaning, there should be an open dialogue to be like, what I did when I called, I want not names to go unmentioned, but I called a competitor, he's a friend of ours, but also a competitor, and toying with the ideas of, hey, well, maybe we could bid some fares this year. Just, get out and just get some sun, honestly. And I called.
Pasty whiteness is getting in the way.
It's getting bad. So I called them up and I said, hey, are you going to be doing these particular counties? And they said, honestly, we've lost a lot of our talent to COVID.
Wait, they died?
No, job.
Oh,
because think of it this way,
I was concerned, actually.
I know, right? You and I were pretty well blessed to have, what we have. But a lot of these guys, that was their main bread and butter, the gig life, they had to move to other states. They had to take on other jobs. His regular A1, his usual engineer, Daniel, I can say that. Daniel, he's no longer working for him at all. He's the one of the house sound guys at the pub. But that's cool. At least he stayed in his industry.
Yeah.
Unlike our engineer, like one of our guys, Kevin, he's the best A1, talks like a sailor, but he's one of the best A1s we've got. But the downside is, one, we don't have the jobs to keep him employed.
True.
And then two, are the jobs that are coming down the pipe going to be worth the ticket to pay?
That's true.
And so therefore, he's now in Seattle, supervising up at Amazon. Total change of pace, and that's not a bad thing. It's just difficult for the AV industry to navigate, and so it's always frustrating to see, other AV houses and production houses that want to talk smack, because in reality, it's such a small industry as is. It's all so small as it is. Everyone should just be like, oh, that guy. I mean, there's always a joke about, there's another person, Kevin tells the joke, I'm not going to name the other guy, but he says, do you know how this guy, he's lying? And the answer is, because his mouth is always moving. I mean, that's a bad rap to have, but it's also somewhat said in jest. And granted, if you're bad at what you do, you're not going to last in this industry.
It's true.
I mean, let's just be honest. When I've asked about this same particular engineer, I asked another person, said, well, you could probably call this guy because we weren't available for a job. And I said, well, you should give this person a call. And the person responded that was inquiring said, do you really think have you heard that person mix before? And I was honest, actually, no, I haven't. I just know that this person has a particular branded line array. And so, but it's just, that's what's so funny. I mean, like, anybody can buy the right gear, anybody can have the stuff, but really operating it is a totally different bird.
It's a different animal.
And then number two, that customer service level we've talked about. Really caring about the client, building out something that works for them, making them feel comfortable, as opposed to just like, no, this is my show, my stage, you do what I say. No. I don't think that works. And especially now, that's the moral. It's like, what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
When events come back, if they come back, of course, when events come back, I'm still trying to figure out, what does that mean? Like, I mean, what are we doing for COVID compliance? What are we doing for, the little guy?
Part of me feels like it's going to turn into kind of like how before an event you have the fire marshal.
Yeah.
And how they go out and they check to make sure you got your fire extinguishers primed and ready, that everything's safe and secure.
No orange power cords.
It's true. No orange or yellow, just black and green.
Because no one ever wants to think about gauge or voltage capacity or amperage capacity. They just want to look at color.
Makes it simple.
Even though that 14 gauge orange cord is holding like 5 amps of LED on it. Little LED bar cans for a little VIP section. Not speaking from experience, but I'm saying it was fine. It was rated. The cord was rated for the load. It was fine. There's no reason we needed to strike it. It was a last minute addition. It was in a cable jacket.
It worked.
I'm talking to you, Contra Costa County. It was fine. Anyways.
But anyway, going back, it's probably going to end up more like that, where instead of a fire marshal, now you're going to have your COVID marshal. Where
that doesn't sound as cool.
It doesn't sound CCP marshal.
No. That sounds like communist China stuff.
Because it is.
Oh. Okay. No, you should call it COVID compliance officer, because that is a technical term.
There you go, CCO.
And we actually we're doing that. I was toying with the idea. I talked to that doctor. Here's a side note that you didn't even know about. We can talk about on the podcast. I talked with a partnering physician to see if she would be willing to do that for us so that we could offer that as a service.
Oh.
If and when events start to, well, I'm not going to say they are going to, the events, they're going to come back. It's just like, how do they look when they come back?
Yep.
When events come back, I think one of the biggest things are going to be like, hey, well, what's the COVID compliancy regulation? And I've been seeing a lot of chatter on the forums about COVID compliancy, and there are no rules as of yet and guidelines as to what that looks like at all. So, really, the best guess for a COVID compliance officer is, does the person have a medical background? Is the person a physician's assistant or a physician, or something in medical field?
Yeah.
And then secondly, does the person have, some type of experience, with medicine? Because you can be a doctor, but you may have not done whatever. So anyways, this chick, she's an MD. She's part of the foundation. She's legit. And she's done ER medicine. She's worked and all that. And she has no problem either A, overseeing a COVID compliance unit, or B, appointing like a physician's assistant who's on site with us as our COVID compliance officer.
Oh, okay.
Super cool stuff, right? But who's going to pay for it? That's the thing. Let's actually hypothetically look at the budget on, and I'm going to shoot high just because I really wish it was higher, but you and I all know the budget's much lower. But and that's
we don't make money off this stuff.
I know and that's the point that Kevin brought up. And actually that's going back to my original thing about competitors. When I called them up and I said, hey man, which fairs are you going to bid? They said, hey, we don't have any talent. Our talent is completely out. So we aren't going to go after a lot of these fairs. We're just going to keep going. We're going to do the one that we normally do, and we're going to do the concert stage, but we're not doing the distributed sound. So they're only doing half of the fair, which is crazy because in my experience, normally you do all or nothing. So that's really fascinating to me that they are only just doing half. That's different. And that's different for even a fair manager to
request.
Well, not only request, but approve. Anyways, so they're not doing that because they don't have the talent. So great. But then there also came down to the matter of price. Because one thing that happens on the fly-by-night companies is that we want to work with clients at whatever level they're at. We would prefer to work with them so that we could possibly give them the best experience that, that they deserve.
Of course.
But the problem is there's a lot of folks that are budget for a reason. They're cheap because they are cheap. And there are certain things that come into play, with safety standards, insurance, proper permitting, proper licenses. Do you hold certificates to do what you actually do? There's a lot of things in this industry that you have to keep up. That's number one. And those things don't come for free. Training and certs and equipment, and firsthand, you took the credit card and go shop in a Guitar Center. I mean, that's it's not cheap. So that has to be paid for in some form or fashion. The easiest way to cut cost in a business is to not pay for the things that you really don't see the value of immediately.
Yep,
insurance is a big thing. People, they let their insurance lap,
which is not a good idea.
Dude, it's not a good idea at all.
Very, very bad.
Workers' comp, certain contractor benefits, like AFLAC, proper training, permitting, certificates, just stuff. They let all that slide, and everyone gets lucky. 9 times out of 10, there's no problems. If you type in a particular brand name of a product, and you type it on YouTube and type in fail, I can't believe how many trussing structures I've seen fall on poor little kids in India. It's not funny. It's funny. It's not funny. But the point, or like that video wall that fell on the guy on ESPN.
Oh, man.
That broke his neck.
That just,
But you know what I'm talking about, right? It was ESPN like Mexico or something, or it was a Spanish channel from ESPN.
It was just bad. It was
bam, and that video wall just mollywopped the guy's head. Like it's because people don't realize. I mean, that stuff's heavy. This stuff is, anyways. It's not a joke.
Well,
so
like when we were down in LA, those guys that were setting up the video wall and everything, that was a team of 16 guys. Yeah, 16 guys just assembling.
It's a lot of work.
Huge video wall.
And so a client that doesn't know, someone who's new to the game or whatever, isn't going to pay that price.
It's true.
So the question is, 1, what kind of client do you want? 2, do you want to just rope them all in and then figure it out? Or 3, do you just want to be like, nope, we're just going to only charge what we charge to make money, but then hope for the best, Mm-hmm. So I say all that for the state of events coming this way. It's like, well, now we're going to be forced with COVID compliance and all sorts of new things, most likely.
Yep.
And that's going to cost money.
Which means the bids are going to have to go up.
Exactly. So if the budgets go up, I mean, that's where I'm getting at. The whole state of events becomes way more expensive. And are the promoters going to really want to take the gamble to pay it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the budgets to increase.
And that's really where I'm like, well, that's too bad because, I think I've said this in another podcast, the heart of civic events, that was, your local, your small town concert, your small town beer fest, your small town events. And they didn't make a lot of money. But yet, everyone got paid a little something, and it was good to go.
And it brought the community together.
Exactly.
There was a feeling of camaraderie going on. People could enjoy life all together and just have a good time.
Have a good time. But the problem then now becomes, if there's no money for that, no budget for that, then you just have big time entertainment, which is cool and all. It literally cuts 70-80% of your local entertainment of people that were able to actually make a living pre-COVID. It's too bad. I don't know. That part will have to remains to be seen. But like this beer fest that we've got coming up in April or not April, October, whenever it is. They're already talking about having to spread out the event because they want to be able to have their same attendance, but they have to cut down on, well, let me rephrase that. They want to have the same number of people, but they need to now expand the block. It's the one that we do at, downtown.
Which is already a very large amount of space. The amount of time and people to expand it so that you can have adequate social distancing and everything. But on top of that, I mean, for looking at it from just ourselves, does that mean we have to get more equipment to supply that extra space also?
And that was the thing. She wants to open it up by like 3 or 4 more blocks. Huge.
That's very lengthy.
Interestingly enough, though, that band that plays, because I was telling her, budget, we were talking budget and cost, and dude, they play for tickets. They don't even play for cash. Dude, right? They play the whole event just for tickets, and they give tickets to all their friends.
Okay.
And I'm like,
so the promoter has definitely saved money that way.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like, dude, but she still doesn't have money for a towable stage. And that's another thing. It's like, it's like how...
Isn't this also, I believe this is also a charity event?
It's it's all charity, I get it. But you still got to pay, I mean, we have the Apex. You should just use the Apex. I mean, it looks better, it smells better, it sounds better, it deploys faster. Ugh. I'm still working on her for that one. But the moral of the story is that she wanted to originally do 2 main stages now.
Oh.
And have 2 bands. And I said, honestly, I don't think there are any bands that will play for tickets that I know of, number 1. But then number 2, any bands that are gonna be worth their salt. If you can't beat free. If you're already doing free, you can't beat free. And then she's like, well, how much is that? I said, well, I mean, what I'm seeing is you got plexiglass, you got all these little things. And I came up with an idea. I'll talk to you off the show. I was like, that we could probably fabricate ourselves if it was compliant with public health. And it would be kind of some cool promotion for us because, like, it would be very innovative to screen mass crowds for COVID compliancy, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I don't know how much it's going to cost, I'll talk with you later. But when we start finally really talking dollars and cents, she's like, dude, I don't really have the money to add even $1,000 more for added compliancy. I'm like, well, see, that's where this is going to become a problem. Because if you don't, it's It's just tough.
I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the events start moving in that direction, is the budgets aren't going to increase, but the requirements are going to increase, which means you have to make cuts into other aspects of the event.
Yeah, which is tough.
If this is the case for what she wanted for this particular event, having 2 main stages, 4 more blocks for they already have 4 blocks to do.
It's a massive event.
Yeah, so it's going to just make it almost double the cost, in essence, to provide for that space. But if the budget doesn't increase at the same rate, then you won't be able to have the event as quality as you would want it to be for something smaller.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of places, I don't think people have fully comprehended what we have signed off to do now with COVID and the regulations behind it.
Well, that's another thing. We talked about this also on another podcast where all the artists were giving out free shows.
Which is ridiculous.
It's dumb, but that also has fueled the misinformation of the whole virtual streaming aspect. You know, a lot of clients I've spoken to, the general assumption is, oh, well, if we just stream, if we just do virtual, it's actually going to be cheaper. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, it's not though.
Because there's a whole different type of equipment that is needed for that stuff. It's
a different production.
Very different.
And we still are having a lot of the same elements that you would find in an in-person conference. Let's just step it back. Let's start from the top. For a virtual conference, you're still going to have your hosts. They're going to be on a big, platform. Because 9 times out of 10, your hosts are going to still, talk to all the people in virtual attendance, right? Okay. Yeah. So we still need to put out a platform. It doesn't need to be 3 feet high. We can just put a little small drum riser 6 feet, 6 inches high. But okay, fine. We've got a 24 by 24 foot by 6 inch drum riser. It's not really a drum riser anymore at that size, but
no.
That's your stage. Great. Keynotes are presenting from there. Now the keynotes need to see who's actually in attendance. That means we've got to rig confidence monitor. We've got to rig not just the confidence monitor for that, but we've got to rig probably 2 other confidence monitors because we need to be able to communicate with the on-stage talent. So that means, timers and PowerPoints and anything else they need to see to be able to present, plus direction to which cameras they need to look at. Now, in the past, on an in-person conference, there wasn't really anyone directing cameras because the audience you could see them. You could meet their eyes, eye to eye. But now in a virtual conference, you have to be able to know which camera to look at so that you can talk to your audience. That means now the cameras have to be tallied and marked.
And visibly enough that the keynote speaker can actually see which one is which.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying with the tally. We can put tally lights or markers on them. And so you've got that. And then we still have
this nice little park.
Oh yeah, that's different. That's new. Actually, this place we're driving through Clear Lake right now, and it's not bad. It's
seen some improvements.
Let me talk about this really quick. This Clear Lake place.
What do you want to finish your thought and then jump to Clear Lake?
Yeah, I can finish my thought. Sounds good passing through Clear Lake. Now, so what I was talking about was all of the requirements. People, virtual conference is going to be cheaper. Yeah, but see, not if you're doing it the way you expect it to be done. So we've already talked about the confidence monitors in the video, but we still have also audio. Audio doesn't change. Yeah, we're not rigging a front of house system per se. We're not rigging, for an audience in the person here, but we still need to put up monitors because if there's a Q&A, the people from the virtual have to be heard. So that means that we have to have proper routing.
Yep.
One, to make sure that the keynote speaker, their microphone isn't slapping back into the Q&A to create feedback, that we can only hear the Q&A, from the people in the Zoom audience. There's just, those things. And then now we have the Zoom element. all of the computers in the virtual rooms that are responsible to combine up to 1,000 people into a virtual setting.
Yep.
And not to mention lighting and draping and decor, all of the stuff that still you find in a regular in-person conference. That's all the same. So for people to assume that, I think when they think, oh, virtual's got to be cheaper, I mean, it's cheaper in a sense that maybe you can get a smaller ballroom, maybe. You don't have to have as many administrative hands or people doing in-person ticketing. Maybe it's cheaper because you don't have to pay as much for printing tickets, physical tickets. But again, who's doing physical tickets even in person now?
It's true. Everything's being scanned. If that.
The only way virtual is cheaper is if you literally are in your bedroom and everybody attends on their own laptops from their own bedrooms, and then it's cheaper. And then when it's cheaper, it literally is cheaper.
Like every Zoom conference.
The whole value of that thing feels stupid. Why are you going to have anyone pay a ticket price to come to your dumb little Zoom meeting? I'm just being real. I wouldn't, like the Wall Street Journal's Future of Everything, they can't charge a ticket price for that. It's actually the Zoom conference is free now because you're not going to a conference hall. Everybody's just presenting from their laptops. And
that's not a small little event either.
No.
For it to go free.
Well, at least it was free for me. I don't know. I mean,
maybe for the general public, they still have to pay something.
I don't know.
Because I do know that there was this not necessarily a podcasting conference, but I think it's called the Smart Ideas or the Clever Ideas Conference, which is where a bunch of the creators, podcasters, and everything who do more of the educational side of podcasts some of them get invited, and it's basically a 24-hour conference all being live streamed. Some of the people that I listened to were going to be there and everything, and that's going. It is already 100% virtual, and I think it was $15 or something per person.
It's not bad
to watch a live stream.
Yeah, but even still, it's like, yeah, that's just it. $15 to watch a live stream. I mean, it has to be engaging. That's all I'm saying.
It has to be. It has to be something that someone actually really wants to either listen to, pay attention to, or is willing to pay the price. The one thing, though, I will say that this particular conference that I'm referencing had an advantage with is they also allowed people to keep the recordings.
Sure.
Because there was like 4 different conference rooms doing a live stream for 24 hours each.
That's a value. That's a value.
So they got to keep access to all 4 conference rooms so they could watch the other speakers. Which for $15, I don't think that's a problem.
That's a value add right there.
Yeah.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, if you have someone who's if that's their niche, if that's what they want to, if that's what they're dealing with, then yeah, they're going to pay for it. But I guess what I'm saying is the overall value of the ticket. You know, like we do Miss America, okay? That was you're watching, it's pay-per-view essentially. It's like if you're going to watch a fight, it's pay-per-view. Yeah, that's something you're going to watch, but it's produced well. And what I'm saying is the production behind the live stream still costs money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you went 100% virtual, which is, again, people just streaming from their bedrooms, that's what I'm saying is going to be hard to sell at any price. And yes, that is cheaper production, but it's not value. It's not that's, anyways. The Clear Lake thing I was talking about was just like, this is another kind of sad story because here, I had a really good venue called the Canocti Harbor and Resort. They did great shows. I mean, really, they were kind of the premier section for entertainment for Modoc. Yeah, this is Modoc County. No, Mendocino. Yeah. Mendocino County. And they went belly up. I think it was embezzlement, I think. But that's what I was saying. Like these little venues that we've worked with, like we work with Robinson's up here. That was a sweet gig. Robinson's, you know, they were really aggressive on their production. They really wanted to make sure that they always were doing, you know, some type of mid-level, you know, throwback band. They had like the Platters, Lori Morgan, freaking Kenny Rogers. You know, all these that, you know, your older demographic is definitely going to go see. The price, the formula worked out right. The bid for the show was stupid. I mean, we did for a while before Keith did it. It was, I want to say it was like 36. It was really nothing. It was beans. But one of the nice things about it was that the way we wrote it, we got our lodging and our meals included.
Ooh.
So yeah, basically we could go to any restaurant at the casino
and just enjoy.
Yep, the burger bar. I mean, whatever. Just hey, with lighting crew, you know, or whatever.
That's nice. That's always good to have.
Oh yeah, and then get rooms too.
I will say Clear Lake, it's still a very beautiful area.
It's a pretty place, man. I'm not gonna
Can't
lie.
go swimming in the lake, which is sad.
It's so weird, right?
But apparently they're still having issues with the mercury leak.
So where is that coming from?
So back in the day when this whole area was, I guess originally was all mining.
Right.
It was all huge mining area, and so the mines from way back in the day are still leaking mercury into the water.
But how did mercury get in the mines?
Well, there's some areas where mercury is just a natural element.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh.
Yeah, and so when they were blowing them up in some places, I like to get a few shots at the lake for people who are watching this. It's just when they were blowing the mines and using the TNT and destroying the earth to get to the gold and the silver and everything. Apparently they hit some natural mercury deposits and it's been leaking into the lake ever since. And
Interesting.
They've spent, I think, millions of dollars.
I know how to move my camera, Nick. So
I think they've spent millions of dollars trying to stop the mercury.
There you go.
And it's not much better.
It's not much better?
No.
Why not?
Because it's mostly looking at your, for the people who are looking, the picture of the frames per second is nicer, but you're looking into the,
how's that?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like it. I'll show them that.
Yeah.
That way they can get some proper looks of the lake and everything.
Yeah. See, that's nice. I don't know, dude. I mean, entertainment dies for a reason. Venues, contracts, those things die.
Yeah.
But just the whole new COVID compliance thing, that's the only thing that really worries me. Because I really would like to, you know, keep things going, but I really don't know what the budgets are going to look like. And then again, with being compliant with the state regarding actually just being a business, you know, how does that work? Oh, did you lose my camera?
I gotcha.
Do you?
Yep.
How come the blue light's not on front anymore?
Oh, well, you're just messing with it.
Okay, so you have me?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no blue light on it.
Apparently it doesn't need the blue light.
That's weird. Okay.
I see you on OBS right here.
Neat. Well, hello everyone.
He's back.
So that's my take on that. So as far as the state of events are considered, I mean, this girl, she's still not very optimistic.
Which is sad.
I mean, we got the fairs coming back, I guess. But and what's up with the Red Bluff Rodeo, though? I mean, like, so the Red Bluff Rodeo is allowed to happen, but they're not going to have the parade, and a lot of people are pissed about that. Like,
well, I know in my neck of the woods, one of the local communities over there, they have a 4th of July parade and 4th of July fireworks.
Okay.
Those are canceled, which is very sad because they did that last year also. And
wait, they've canceled the 4th of July fireworks?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And so those, for the entire community, on one hand is upset because that's a major part of the community just to come together. People like to watch it, be part of it. But there's also sadness and disappointment for the businesses because up in that small town area, that's where they make 90% of their annual income is over the 4th of July weekend.
What?
So they're pissed off about that because those fireworks are what bring people into the town, and all those little stores sell out of all of their stuff because everyone's buying these little knickknacks and little souvenirs, and they just completely sell almost everything during that weekend, and then they're just basically making rent for all the other months of the year.
Wow.
And so it's a very sad thing for those businesses that they're not going to have anything like that, especially because the only other time that they really have a good opportunity to do business and sell things is during Christmas, which this last Christmas season, there's usually the community Christmas tree lighting, which also causes people to gather from the community, get together, but they canceled that this past year also. So between the lack of 4th of July and the lack of the Christmas, they lost a huge amount of their little, and these are just little small town mom and pop shops.
Sure.
They're not big conglomerates or anything like that where they can rely on the government to bail them out. They still are just, little tiny shops going belly up right now.
And they've been just fine up until now because, they had a good thing going. Mm-hmm. They knew that, okay, hey, we have one shot at this. It's a seasonal business, and the season pays to keep us in business the rest of the year, but we make enough to support our families and...
Yep.
Well,
it's a sad thing. It's a sad state of affairs.
So then, what's the beef? Are they gonna try to just do their own thing then? Like,
No.
Are they just gonna start their own parade?
No.
That's what Red Bluff is doing. That's what I was bringing it up for.
Oh, Red Bluff is rebelling and doing their own. Ooh.
Yeah, I guess
Ooh.
apparently I saw on Facebook of all places, someone's starting this thing called Parading Downtown, which is a stupid name. If you're listening and you created the event, you couldn't have come up with a better name.
Well, that's just Northern California marketing right there.
Parading Downtown.
Everything in Northern California has really bad names.
Yeah, it does. We're parading downtown. So anyways, they're like, okay, we're going to parade downtown. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to call it that, then you could have been like, the Grand Parade or something stupid. I don't know. But parading downtown, they got 400 people that are coming to it thus far. And it is scheduled for the regular day that, the Red Bluff Roundup would have been.
So are they still doing the actual rodeo, though, in Red Bluff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they still got something normal going on at that time.
Yes. Dude, that lady was carrying 3 flats of beans.
Hey, beans are amazing.
No, but that's crazy. Why doesn't she have a shopping cart? Did you see her?
Yeah, I did. I didn't have time to switch over to the camera, though.
What was...
Oh, Clear Lake's,
She had 3 flats of beans.
Clear Lake's an interesting place.
Well, that's another thing. Tourism, now that they got... what do they have? They don't have concerts anymore. So I wonder what all these, hotels are doing.
They're probably doing a lot of... Actually, I would have no idea. They're probably doing a lot of just trying to get anyone to come up into the area.
Yeah, why would you come here?
Because you can't
To fall into your Mercury Lake.
To enjoy the sights.
It's a site. Just don't touch it. I didn't know that about the Mercury. That's crazy.
It's a serious condition.
So what are they doing to mitigate?
They've been trying to do that for years. They've spent millions of dollars trying to decrease the mercury and decrease the contamination, stop it.
How do you decrease the mercury?
That I have no idea.
And
I don't know the science of that.
And what mines? Like, I'm not even, like, what mines are there around here? That'd be cool to explore. That's why I'd come to Clear Lake, to go, like, you know, spelunking or whatever. Like, go explore stuff. I mean, they're trying to put in vineyards, I guess. Looks like they're trying to maybe
start a little Napa area.
Yeah, maybe start a little wine culture. That's cool.
Which, I mean, it's worked great for Napa.
Napa's
making bank off of their vineyards.
Ooh, that was a nice place. Too great for Napa, honestly. Yeah, probably that's what they're, you know, the next best thing is to try to do some vineyards and try to make it more touristy in terms of that. But, you know, the thing about it is, if the people are trash and the whole situation is trash, then you would really rather stay at the vineyard. So they would be smart to also have their own lodging on site. Just come here. Don't go anywhere else. Just come here. You know. Actually, I take that back. My wife and I. What's on the other side of the map?
Other side of Clear Lake?
Yeah. What's over there?
That is...
I think
that's over the 101. I think the 101's on that side.
Let me see. I bet you. Yeah, I think that... Yeah, you take Highway 29. It's not telling me what's over there, but there's a really... Talking about food... There's a really cool pizza place off of Highway 29 over there. And my wife and I, we went for a little road trip out there just to see. That gets bad in terms of talking about getting sick. Forget about it, man. It's like literally 10 mile an hour hairpin curves. It's only a stretch of 20 miles, but it's a 2-hour drive.
Wow.
So you do the math. It's terrible. But yeah, there's a lot of kids, there's a lot of just industry going on. Like, that's crazy.
I think the area itself, and I could be very much mistaken, but I think the area of Clear Lake is actually starting to grow a bit more. There's more people moving to this area. I don't know why. I don't know what jobs there are.
Why? Why would you move to Clear Lake?
I mean, the gas prices aren't the attractive reason, that's for sure. But I think that from what I've gathered, the government of this area, the community government, this local people.
It's mainly tribal, right?
That I have no idea. I'm talking about like county and city.
Oh, Mendocino?
Yeah, they've really been wanting to invest. I mean, look at the road. It's nice and smooth. It's nice.
No. Oh, wait. That's right. You and I did stay. We stopped at this travel stop up here. That's a nice place.
It's a very nice travel stop.
Yeah. No,
we did that a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really doing well.
And so I think they have really been trying to promote this area and kind of develop it a bit more to draw more people over into this area and build the economy a bit more. I mean, there's a lot of new houses I'm noticing since the last time we were here.
Yeah.
So I think so far it seems like they've been a bit successful.
Hey, Mendocino County, whatever you're doing out here in Lake County, no, this is Lake County. Yeah, Lake County, whatever you're doing here in Lake County, all right, doing a good job. We approve. The Soundguys approve. Soundguyspodcast.com.
That's what we do.
Well, this is, yeah, I mean, it's, again, I find it, all the places we go, I find it crazy fascinating to, like, you know, people live here.
It's true. People do live here.
People live here, and some of them have lived here their entire lives.
It's true.
And
a roundabout. I don't like roundabouts.
Why not?
I don't know. They're just too British.
Oh, yeah. Take camera 3. Let's see how we do.
I've been on camera 3 for a while now.
Oh, you have? Oh, well, that's nice. So, for those who are watching at home, we're about to enter this roundabout.
With fish on it.
With fish. Yeah, that way, That's Highway 29, but it doesn't tell me what, okay. Interesting. Lucerne, maybe? I don't think so. I have to Google that. But yeah, basically, if you're listening and not watching, right, either way, if you feel like so inclined, there's a pizza place, if it hasn't been closed because of COVID, there's a town on the other side of the lake. You go up Highway 29, and it's great. It's a good little place. Nick, you can't yawn. Because I'm going to yawn too, and then the people listening are going to yawn. Feel like, oh, they yawned, I'm going to yawn. It's amazing how a yawn is so catchy.
It's very contagious.
Oh my gosh, you know it. And then up here, yeah, this is Robinson's Rancheria. I don't know if they're doing anything anymore in terms of shows.
I don't think they can yet.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm talking about, casinos. Casino up in our area. They're opening up a...
You want to talk about casinos? Let's talk about the ones down in L.A.
Yeah, we should save
there?
that for an episode. It's called the Pomo Pumps. Okay, cool. How long are we in this episode? How much time have we wasted these poor people's time?
56 minutes.
Oh, we can't talk about that now.
We will in the future, though.
Oh, hey, Keith. That's Keith's truck. So he's still there. Keith! Right there, see?
How do you know that's his?
Because he's like the last guy who has a Freightliner with a tandem axle.
Really?
Yeah, dude, like those are super rare.
Oh.
To have a straight truck with 2 axles, he's got basically a total of 16 tires on the back. That's rare. Yeah, it's Class A stuff.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, okay, well, then, yeah. Shoot, this has been a lot of fun, guys. We've just been having a nice conversation, Neighborhood Nick and I, talking about just the future, and hopefully you found something insightful about it too, because if you share our same thoughts and views and ideas, oh, that's cool. There's a little blue light now. Must mean when you take my camera, I can see that I'm live.
No. Because now I'm on my camera.
Well, then whatever. The point is, hopefully you found something insightful. If so, always comment. Let us know what's up, because we love to, be there for you. It's education, enlightening, entertainment. You know the drill.
Very true. Very true.
And today we should probably next one conversation going about casinos and entertainment.
Better believe it.
Nick, tell us what they got to do to find us.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, just repeating what Crispin Smith said, thank you for joining us. You could have spent your time probably listening to anything else in the world, but you chose the Soundguys podcast, and we really, truly love and appreciate that. Be sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're always notified of when we're about to launch a new episode. And if you're listening to Spotify, CastBox, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts at, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a good rating, help us on the algorithm to just rise and rise and rise.
Like bread.
Like good bread. I've just realized I've been talking to the camera right here, but I haven't even clicked the button.
Oh, which camera have you been on?
I've been on your camera this whole time.
Oh, that's cool. Hello.
So it's been talking to... There you are. Now I see you. Awesome.
That's why he doesn't run the box most of the time. He just likes to talk, but that's okay.
I do like the talking aspect, but this is a safe way. This is a safe way of
look at all those air
doing
handlers.
things on the road.
See that tent, that canopy? Like those are like 2 trailer-based air handlers.
Oh yeah,
that was huge.
That was legit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us. I am the Neighborhood Nick.
I'm Crispin Smith.
And we'll be sure to see you guys on the flip side. Anything you want to say before we send them away?
There was a Napa Auto Parts there. That's cool.
That's not important. Goodbye.